You already know. Period.
All right, guys, welcome back to Commission Reviews, the queen of reality TV. The views and opinions expressed on this channel are those of this channel and are for entertainment purposes only. Do not try this at home. And don't whine in the comments when you don't like it, because I don't care. Lordy, look, I had to give myself a little quick second because what y'all don't know behind the scenes, your girl been got some workout equipment that she's had before she had her surgery. And I was already using the equipment before I had my surgery. Then fast forward to me not eating for 10 days. Fast forward to me getting another equipment and have been going hard since I was able to eat. Anyway, so I'm a little sore. I caught myself exercising before I hopped on here, and that was a no. Woo! Okay, so first of all, I need you really quick, guys. If you are following me or if you're watching me on Twitter, do me a favor and follow me really quick to get those numbers up. And if you're not following me on Twitter, just do so at this time. If you are on YouTube or on Twitch or whatever or Facebook, wherever you catch me at. So, let me give me a quick drink. That was a lot. All right. Now I know that I kind of been a little bit missing in action. I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Going to make my career, my entertainment, my blogging career really great. And it. Oh no! Wait a minute now. wait. You have to understand. History has been made. History has been made. Wait a minute. Now Erica coming in. She knows when I do that whole, are you coming? There's a lot of words. There's a lot of things in between that. But what's up, Queen? How you doing?
What's going on? I had so much going on. I was like, am I gonna be able to do it or not do it? And then I don't know. This episode was kind of dry. So I was like, I don't think we'll be on here 2 hours today. So
no. Girl, we're not. Okay. So like I was telling everybody, I've been kind of missing in action because I've been doing some things that's gonna help my blogging career that I still can't talk about because you sign paperwork and da. But anyway, I also was girl, I can't say. I also was telling everybody that before I got on here, I was working out and I'm like so sore because before I had my surgery on my teeth, I had already started working out by getting the equipment. And then after, add your channel, Eric, if you can. And after my surgery, I had to stop, but I stopped eating for 10 days. Then I lost weight from that. And then after that, I got back on my regimen. Then we acquired another machine. And girl, like the results are resulting. That's all I'm saying. But I'm just keeping it quiet.
That's so exciting, girl. I say this all the time, but I have to really commit to doing more than walking the dog, girl.
Well, yeah, I kind of was like that too. So, but for me, I just kind of had to make a choice. I got this equipment. I'm like sitting here looking at my face every day. I'm not even using it, girl. And I just got it on it. You know, especially when I was sitting here with my teeth was hurting. It was like into the end where I started to feel better. I started to get back on that treadmill. Then I had this ab workout machine. It's got my stomach so sore. But girl, I was like, wait a minute. I'm seeing changes. I'm like, okay, motivation. Anyway,
oh, that's so great. And I do agree. I think that once you start to really see a change, that keeps you, you know what I'm saying? Like if your clothes still tight, you don't really, it's hard to stay on a diet. It's hard to say no to McDonald's and you still can't fit your clothes anyway.
Girl,
but
period.
Once you get that little change, you'll be like, you can finally be like, I like how skinny feels more than that food tastes or whatever those crazy girls be saying.
I know, right?
You have to see some change. You got to see that skinny first. Because if you don't, you like, all right, let me get some cheesecake.
Right. What am I doing?
Later. So yeah.
Period.
So that is inspirational, girl. Because I'm I got to get it together.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. What did I just knock out? Did I just knock something out? What did I do? Can you hear me still?
I can hear you.
I can't see anything on my screen. What the hell did I just unplug? This is my makeup like failed, but my monitor, I don't know what the hell. Like I don't see anything. Girl. Like my makeup failed, but it didn't hit nothing. So I'm trying to figure out why is my monitor not.
I think I'm gonna upload my I did a thumbnail for last week's episode, which I did not do, but I love that thumbnail, so I'm using it this week.
You're gonna use it this week.
Even
Okay.
though it has nothing to do with the show today. But it was such a funny, I was like, I really like that thumbnail. So I'm gonna
What is going on? Okay, I can't hold on, Lee, because I can't even see. This is so irritating. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I see it. I think I see it. Is this it? No, that's not it. Oh, shit. Type in the background. Tell Lee I can't see my nothing on my monitor for some reason.
It might be the cord, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Obviously,
like my I don't know what happened. Like, girl, my whole makeup just fell, and it fell on top of the thing, but did nothing get unplugged. That's why I'm like, I don't understand what happened. Why is it? Hold on, I'm turning my computer off real quick. Just keep on talking, okay?
All right, everyone. We are reviewing and recapping season 2, episode 6 of The Comeback Kid. This episode, well, those of you who are here, let me know your thoughts on this episode. I thought it was interesting. I mean, it was okay. Like I didn't really feel anything too dramatic really happened. But there were some scenes that I think were also kind of giving us a little bit more about, about the parties, or about, like I like the episode between Colby and her aunt, or that part. Oh my goodness. It looks like I'm just on here now. So let's see. Okay. Okay, so Leah's backstage. She'll be joining us. I'm sure everybody will be back, because I don't even think I can end this live anyway. So what I did like, let's start with the positive, because that'll be short. So what I did like about this episode was kind of how real and emotional Colby's aunt was in that scene.
All right, girl. I know what happened. My makeup turned off the whole plug outlet. Girl, I didn't even realize that makeup strong as hell. Come on, Mac Cosmetics. Anyway.
Oh, Mac.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here, Mama. You're here, Lee.
Erica, when I be here by myself, I just be talking about random things until she get back on. It'd be like the weather, TV, nothing.
I know, right? I was like, well, the things I liked about the episode, that'll be short. So
it just be random things. Like today, I cooked for dinner. I be just talking about random stuff because I don't want to say something about the show and then I gotta repeat.
Right. Gotcha.
That's true.
Okay, so Lee, are you able to do a recap?
It was boring.
Oh my God. Shout out to any cast member that might come to the chat. I asked Bravo to come through, but it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Listen, this was a we just getting through episode. There wasn't a lot of things that stood out to me in this episode. Erica literally just said that, but I was thinking about that the entire time. I didn't even watch the last 10 minutes, so I can't even tell you that. It's just shit, I can't even remember what happened. I just finished watching it.
Okay. So what I will say that I have to agree that it was a filler episode, what I call a fluff or whatever you want to call it. The one thing I did that was funny, and not what's the name? What's the girl name? Kim saying that I do that like Urkel. I said, I know she didn't say that. Like they be coming with these little zingers and be trying to be cute and everything else. But I feel like that argument needs to be dead. I'm tired of this argument at this point. Christina and Kim, y'all are not going to make it work, whatever the reason. Now, I would like to hear a little more about what she was talking about, her friends making her feel like she's less than, and who are these friends, and when was this stuff said, and what is it verbatim, so we can let that go. But that's one thing I can understand why she's upset, but she's blaming Christina for somebody else saying something else. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but you cannot control your friends and what they say. So I don't know. I wanted to ask you ladies about that. Erica, what are your thoughts?
Okay. Again, as a very proud Android owner, and I will
Oh snap!
continue to be an Android owner. I might get an iPhone just, because of the pressure. I'm going to keep
Damn!
Join
keep
Team
my
iPhone.
Android. Again, I say this every
Come
time we
home,
have
come on home.
this discussion. Like, are we ending I mean, like, I got an Android. A lot of people have iPhones. Like, I don't take it I don't take it no kind of way. Like, I don't think it's reflective of my wealth or status in the community. So for her to still be on it like that, and I don't expect anybody to like come to blows because someone said, "Oh, you got an
Right.
Android." Like, girl, what? Like, I don't know. So to me, it just seems so high school or something. It's
I
like,
think more had been said, Erica and Lee. I think more because she keeps on referencing your friend make me feel less than. Well, first of all, what is it that my friend said? So
she
I can
literally
address
said
it.
Android again this episode. That's why I
She
even
did? Well,
yeah,
no,
she
see,
said
I don't
Android
remember her.
again. And I was like, okay, what else? I'm with you. I'm like, what
Mm,
else did they say? Did they say you broke? Did they say you grew up in the hood? Did they say you're not used to nothing? Did they show you your shoes were raggedy? Like, what more did they say besides the fact that you can't FaceTime them? Like that.
I can't.
And
I
you
cannot.
actually can because there's a whole link that you can
There
provide for
is.
Android
There
users.
is. Go ahead,
There's
Lee.
a whole what? Say it again. I didn't hear what you said, Lee. There's a whole what for Android users?
There's a whole link for you to be able to use to join a iPhone FaceTime. But I digress.
Well, thank
See,
you, because
that's
I'm gonna continue to pretend like there's no link. You ain't not
oh
gonna be
my god.
FaceTiming me. I don't
But
believe in it.
Lee, thanks for saying that because I'm those Android users who be like, I can't FaceTime, and I'm gonna sure say that now. I'm gonna look at that up.
Yes, you can.
Actually,
There's a whole app for the Android users to download, and they can be in the group FaceTime. Now they can still be a part of the group chat because it's green, and
mm-hmm.
and then it be sending you like 17 group
Right.
chat messages. However, you can be a
She's
part. You can kind of be a part of the iPhone team with the FaceTime.
let's be clear. They've already changed the plug for iPhone to be simple, to be the same as the USB.
Android.
So what I'm saying is, eventually, and to be honest, much as Android and iPhone go back and forth, they are already working on things where we coexist and we can do things. It's going to be that point in a few years where it's not going to be a problem. It's going to be a factor in no kind of way. With Android or iPhone, you can FaceTime, talk, da da da. Green, no green, it's not going to be an issue. I am with Erica when she's saying that this is immature. What I will say is, I feel there's more that's been said as far as the friends. But can you blame a person of what her friends does? If, like I said, we talked about this
Yes.
scenario before. What I said is, Lee, go ahead, explain.
Yes, you can blame her for what her friends do because birds of a feather. So if you knew that these people said whatever it was about her having an Android, she can't afford an iPhone, or whatever the case is, her and her husband is beneath them because they have an Android and not an iPhone. And then you didn't say nothing. Well, we don't know if she didn't say nothing or not. But
Right,
at the
right,
end of
right.
the day, you hang around friends that are that materialistic. So what are you?
Mm. So I would say this. Me and Lee discussed last time, and we and Lee got a really in a good discussion about this. We was like, what would I do if I'm around Lee? Because eventually I will be here soon in the fall with Rachel to get together. And her friends, say something that I don't like. Well, for me, I would immediately tell Lee, depending on the situation, but Lee will find out about it. From what we've all heard consistently, even when she came out of my comments, she said she heard about it later from somebody else, not from Kim, about what happened, and they resolved the matter later. So to me, there's a lot of confusion with me with that. If I had an issue with something that Lee friend said, I would go to Lee about it. Period. Now, for she heard about it from somebody else, cool, but I would still go to Lee about it, or Eric, or anybody who's my friend, because those are your people. You understand what I'm saying? And before I drop kick somebody in the forehead, I want to
Not
go
drop
ahead
kick.
and I want to go ahead and let you know what is the tea and see how you want to handle it. That's to me respectful on all sides. Unless it's like some super disrespectful stuff and it's like F what you talk about, it's about to be some drop kicking time. So, Alicia, I'm meaning to say your whole name, but I'm sorry, I don't know why I said your whole name.
Not
But
you calling me by my
I
government name.
don't know why I did that. But your thoughts on that as far as your friend, whoever's with you, and Eric, I want you to answer the same question as well. Your friends are talking about your friend that's come to visit, whatever circumstances are. How do you handle that? Is that person still to blame? if you hear about the second party days later?
Um, no, you just gotta check it while it's still fresh. Because if you wait, 8, 9, how many ever weeks or whatever she waited to, however long she waited to tell somebody about it or find out about it, then it's gonna brew into this 6 year issue,
Mm-hmm.
which is what this
I
is
think
what
it's
my
7. I think it's 7, right?
whatever it is,
Yeah.
how many ever long it's stupid.
It
That's
is.
it.
Mm-hmm. Erica, not as stupid. Erica.
Okay, so if one of my girlfriends, if her friend said something crazy
Mm-hmm.
to me, I
Gotcha.
would say something to her. I mean, I guess like everything I think is so relative. So I think without additional information, like the friends, exactly what was said, because to me, again, I have the Android, and people say little slick stuff about Androids all the time. Like, I don't take it
I
personal.
know I
Like,
have. Ain't gonna lie, I have.
yeah, people say stuff all the time, but also I like Androids because I know some of the history behind Apple, so I'm not that impressed with that. So I'm
Right.
not
Oh
supporting
wow.
that.
Okay.
So that's just
Mm.
whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and debate. Like, if my phone takes good photos and video, which is what I need, then I'm straight.
Gotcha.
So so to me, I feel like, one, for her, if it's just about the phone, then it's something else going on with her personally. You know what I'm
Come on.
saying?
Yeah, I
Like,
agree. I agree. Yes, ma'am. Come on. Come
you know
on,
what I'm saying?
Erica.
Some stuff, maybe she, as other people
A
have said,
personal issue.
maybe she triggered. Okay, because I'm like, this phone thing is triggering you way more than it should. So
I
that's
think more has been said. I think
yeah,
more has been said that we're not privy to. And so I'm agreeing with you that we don't have the complete context. But the fact of the matter is, on camera, Kim agreed when she said we resolved it. She said, yes, we did. So I'm looking at I watched the whole video of their first interaction when she was going off and would not let her talk for that whole scene at that Bravo's, whatever that was, a dinner. She wouldn't let her speak. She kept over talking her. I noticed that a lot. And she was agreeing with Christina the little bit that Christina was allowed to say when she stated, "Oh, we resolved it." She was like, "Yes." So with that being said, I'm still not understanding why it's being brought up again and why you so triggered to bring clothes and throw it on the floor in the middle of the restaurant. Okay, go ahead,
I
Erica.
agree. And
That was very
also,
ghetto.
I would say, like, depending on, to me, I would have to look at what is the true relationship between Kim and Christina, or what was it? Because if you are my friend and your friend says something crazy to me, that obviously is going to put you in an awkward position. So, or whatever. So, I don't know if Kim, maybe she thought their friendship was tighter than to me. I can't imagine any of my good friends being like, "Oh, your crazy girlfriend called my shoes ugly. Now I'm not going to be friends with you." Like, that's the part where, like, I'm like, okay, because I have, like, my girlfriend, like birthdays, certain things, you see her other friends, and some of them, nah, they not my flavor. If they say something crazy, I know that person says crazy things all the time. I'm not going to end my friendship with my best friend because, her plus one is ignorant. Like, I don't understand why whatever her friend said was so devastating that she expected. Like, what did she expect Christina to do? Like, fight, curse the girl out, whatever she expected. And the fact that Christina did not do that is enough to end their friendship, or for her to carry a grudge 6 years and throw clothes on the floor. Like, that seems like, okay, well, was Christina really your friend? Because why can't you get past it?
Ooh. First of all, was she really her friend is a good call out. Lee, you want to jump on this before I say something? Because that was good,
No,
Erica.
go ahead, Erica.
Okay.
She is me today.
Okay, so Raven in the chat said, Kim, can you leave now? Hey, Raven, how you doing? Tamika is laughing. Raven said, Kim play herself coming in as Latoya's friends. Okay, look, let's start with that. Raven, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in on that. And people may not, and the usual, I don't care about being popular or anything like that. Everybody knows that. When I said last time, I felt like that was a team up against Christina, and I'm gonna stand on that 100%. Okay, that I feel like that was a team up against her with Latoya. Even at first, I didn't think that Kobe was really in it too, but even when Latoya was like, I'm sorry, Kobe was going to her event and they're talking about Christina, but yeah, you're upset that Christina's talking about you at a birthday party. Okay, clue, who told Kim that Christina was talking about her? Oh, ding, 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 ding. Either Kobe or Latoya, Dr. Latoya. So who don't want to be messy? So for me, it's like this season, it's giving, I'm gonna be messy this season. It's giving, I didn't like how I looked last year. Everybody was on Christina's side. It's giving, we have to do 2 against 1 to be whatever. And to me, that's crazy work to me in my girl's voice. I think that's weirdo status, in my opinion. I don't understand it, period. Okay. And I also want to stay with this topic and say this with as far as Kim, what is the real reason that you coming so hard? You got those clothes, clean clothes, I'm assuming, on the floor in a middle restaurant to make a point for what? I didn't see where Christina was up in your face or giving us a whole lot, da da da. You been threw clothes on the floor and the point still wasn't made, man. What is the tea? Okay, I'm done.
Oh,
I had to get that out. I did. Because I'm like confused. You throwing clean clothes for people be begging for clothes. Remember, I was in New York recently. People be on the street begging all kind of stuff, but y'all gonna throw clothes on the floor to say what? And it wasn't just a few outfits. It looked like it was a whole doggone wardrobe on that floor. People turning around looking at you. I'm like, man, come on now. We are over 30.
in front of the white people.
Girl, go. Wait, in front of the who, Lee?
In front of the white people.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. So the clothes, her throwing the clothes on the floor. What would you think her point she was trying to make, Lee? Honestly, what was her point with the KB and all that stuff she was saying?
She wanted camera time because ain't no way in hell you said, "Ooh, this is going to eat. I'm about to bring a whole bag full of clothes and throw it on this restaurant's floor." That's just like when Irena gave Ashley that letter D back at the reunion, and that's what he gave.
I wasn't ready for the Love and Marriage DC crossover, but I should be because it's the Queen of DC. Period. Okay. So Erica, before we leave, she got my chest hurt. Before we leave this, go ahead. Did you want to give your 2 cents?
One, I didn't go back because it wasn't that interesting of an episode. But did she walk in there with a trash bag in her hand? Like,
Yes.
what bag did she have that she was walking through a nice restaurant with her fur on with this bag of clothes, carrying, just waiting? You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming producers had to be on the side because I was like, that's so crazy. What is she doing? And so
That's
the point.
Why would you throw that? Why would you throw all of them clothes in that white person's establishment? They acting black.
Thank you. Now, the point she was trying to make. So here's the whole thing with telephone or whatever. At Christina's party, the comment was made. She didn't believe in her tears and all this. And then somebody, okay, as a side note, because I wasn't here last week, but like, I guess everyone in Detroit is an influencer. Okay. So that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's one person to buy something. So I am not. I'm not going to. No.
We can't hear you, Mama. We can't hear you. Sound far away, baby. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me?
It's that Android.
Is this better?
Yes, it's better.
This is my Shure microphone.
How dare you with your Android bringing that mess over here? We are Apple users over here, guys.
Microphone, people. I have not left yet. Okay, so
not you on your Fisher Price.
Nope.
It's not.
Come on, Apple. Come on, Apple. I'm just talking shit.
This is a microphone that everybody uses. Anyway,
for real.
So there was a comment made about Christina and the influencer and her being a designer or whatever, and maybe Kimberly. I don't know. So someone said, well, Christina's response was, well, she bought all my clothes. And so then when she brought the clothes, she's like, oh, well, I heard you said I have all your clothes in my closet. Here's the trash. And so that's why she was doing it. Oh, my God. But, right, like, I feel stupid even explaining it, right? So I'm like, how are you?
But at the end of the day, you bringing my clothes back, bitch, you still paid for them.
Right, that's what Christina said. She was like, well, you paid for them. Like, it's and one thing I will say is the comments that Christina made were valid in that whatever she was doing, like you just look goofy in this restaurant right now, like,
Right.
and you look silly. You throwing clothes on the floor. Am I supposed to pick up the clothes? Like you paid for them, take them to Goodwill. I don't care what you do. Like I got the cash. I'm good. So the whole, so I can't understand with Kimberly yet. What's really like, is this you or is it production?
Mm.
That's the bottom line with her.
Mhm.
Everything's so over the top and over dramatic, and supposedly it's coming from a comment about a phone 6 years ago. Like Androids
So
are so much better
let's
than
be
they were
clear.
6 years
It's
ago.
been over 7 years ago. So I'm gonna say this: it's all giving something because you have even with because we really gonna put people off today. I don't even care. You got Anthony and Dr. Latoya. Just the way they're moving towards away from Bravo. Now I'm not sure y'all know me as far as a blogger, as far as me doing these shows. I always look deep in this stuff. It not necessarily is really messy. It's just I like to really look deep in it. But if it's a boring episode, I'm really gonna look into it, no shade. So this episode it's an opportunity. Bravo, I felt, is kind of being shaded. Last season, I looked at the way Anthony was kind of pulled Bravo in, like Bravo, this, da da da. Especially was going after Brandon. He needed somebody else. Now you got Kim's husband. I keep forgetting his name. I'm so sorry. Kim's husband is there coming with some shade and rah rah. I called it today on the episode. I know you guys are men, but y'all throw shade too. He was doing that where it's like he's with Anthony. Bravo is defending Brandon. And I really want to get into that because to me, I just noticed that today. I was like, oh, so y'all now trying to school, bro. The statement that was made was, I don't understand their relationship. That's weird. Why is that weird? Oh, is it that everybody got to be on Anthony's side? Then it's not weird. I'm trying to see. Did y'all catch that, or is it just me? Erica?
No, I agree. I wasn't clear the whole he didn't let Bravo know about it, about the man thing, but he spoke last year. So I was like, what was the reason behind that? Like, I'm not clear.
Come on, Erica.
But Anthony is so do we have the we need that Chris Tucker meme or whatever? We need the
you know what? I need to.
We need the sassy dance that we have for Cliff because
That
Anthony
from Rush Hour. From Rush Hour.
I don't have that.
we
I
need
gotta
that
get it
for
back.
Anthony, girl, because I'm like, Anthony, you have some ways
My
that are
stomach hurting.
very questionable. He moves in a way where
Come
it's
on,
like,
Erica. Let's break it down.
Yeah, he's a little bit too. To me, he doesn't move like I would want my man to. You know what I mean? It's like he's so petty with stuff, and I'm like, oh.
Bravo is very cute. I do agree. I'm sorry. I think Bravo is so cute, hair and everything. But anyway, so what are your thoughts? Did you catch the shade that I was putting down? What I was saying, Lee? Have you caught that? Did you see it?
What shade?
What I was saying about how they're kind of putting last season. Bravo was the boy. He was like, oh, he's my boy. That I bet was going against Brandon. It was like, Anthony kind of has to have a team. No shade, just being honest. Has to have like a team of guys behind them, especially try to come against Brandon, right? And so Bravo's part of that. Well, Bravo is kind of a neutral party. He just likes who he likes. He's just cool with his cool. He's not really messy. So he was defending Brandon. He didn't like that. First of all, just like Erica said, he wasn't on the invite, and he was like, "That's weird, that's strange. We've never had an issue, but I'm just gonna go and support it anyway. Still be positive." He defends Brandon. It's like, "Oh, I don't understand a relationship. It's weird." How is that weird? You don't want anybody to like Brandon at all? I'm just saying, are you catching what I'm saying about how they're trying to kind of scoop Brandon out? And I mean that, but I mean Anthony. So I was asking, did you see it? Because Erica said she saw it as well.
Yeah, I seen it.
It doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. I mean, I feel like I said, it's team up against Christina, and I feel like now the way the show is going, it's almost like Brandon and Christina are the bad guys in this whole pod. Okay, the whole pod, all the couples. And again, I've been doing this for a long time. If y'all know me, I don't care if people are upset with my opinion. I give it respectfully. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll come back and apologize later. But most of my assessments are usually correct. And I feel like that with this pod, this couple, and I feel like Russell feels a little bit not really in it. Just the way he was so emotionally upset how he found out about being separated. But especially the women, I think Latoya is very poised and all the things, and she gives all of that. But I think last season in the reunion, especially, she did not like it. How she was portrayed, everything with Christina, and I think this is a get back. And people could say I'm wrong, but I think this season is about revenge and get back. Hey, I don't know, Eric. Oh, lady dropped off. Erica, what you
Oh,
think? What you think, Erica? Come on.
no, I agree. It does seem
Come
like
on.
they're going against Brandon and Christina. You know, and or they're kind of sort of trying to divide the cast. So
Mhm.
I do see that. But I don't know if it's too much time has passed or whatever. I'm not really understanding the whole basis behind it. Like I do remember, Christina had some ways or whatever that seemed like they were a little irritating or whatever last season. So I didn't, I wasn't her biggest fan last season. But then this, it's a new season, boo. We already been to a reunion and stuff. Like, nobody's trying to sit here and rehash. Like this season, she seems cool. So I'm like, what's the basis of all this animosity? Are you all like Kimberly, like holding on to whatever sort of minor, things she may have done last season that I don't even really remember anymore? So I'm like, okay. So to me, I think even when Brandon came into the meeting with the men and was like, okay, Anthony, why, why don't you, work things out with Chelsea? Like, I don't even really, I barely remember what Chelsea did.
Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into that situation. Okay. So with that, and we gonna just get it popping. Okay, really and truly. So I did not agree 100%. I spoke. Well, I did not like some of Chelsea's move last season. I'm a real transparent person, and everybody knows that about me. And there was some things I didn't like, but I did not like how he spoke to Chelsea in front of everybody, and I made that clear in my videos. And I pull them. My videos are still up. I'll pull them up. Where I didn't like some things and how he spoke to her. Right. So let's go back to the men's conversation. Let me go back to my notes where I said this. I said, "Well, Brandon." Yes, I get him looking at the opportunity. First of all, Brandon, you're late. I'm gonna call you out, Brandon. You are late to an event. I don't know what was the reason, but you talked noise about it last time because he invited you and the movement thing was over. Well, this time he actually invited you because Lucci was a man in Detroit, speak to the kids, and you came late. So I'm gonna call you out, Brandon. That was ridiculous. I don't understand that. Okay. And then I believe being about him, it was about talking to children. So I never understood why he came late on that. So with that being said, not sure how receptive a person is going to be for you to ask them to apologize. I'm only saying this because that is the way the scene that we saw it as viewers, as bloggers, whatever, commenters, the way we looked at the scene, it just was an awkward, it was just done crazy. But with that being said, the the thought behind it, as far as asking you to apologize for last year because the way you spoke to her was nasty, Anthony, and for him to be all aggressive, and it was now I hate the word aggressive, but maybe he would. No, I'm not gonna apologize. Da 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 da, and then for you to call her a bird, bro. I'm like, what? First of all, I really have not heard a grown man call a woman a bird. Like, I mean, it's been a long, you know what I'm saying? That's like to present yourself in this way, the man's movement, to set up the scene. So when you paint a picture of yourself, when you paint a picture of everything, and you're showing this background, man's movement, and I literally was like super into the scene, especially when he spoke of his father in the background. I was really into it. You know what I'm saying? I know what Anthony's attempting to go at with that, right? And then in the next scene, again, I'm gonna do both sides. Brandon being late, messed that up, the whole whatever, and then you bring this, but then you calling her a bird. Woman's not there to defend herself. I understand you don't have to like everybody, agree 100%. You do not. But when he's talking from a place of I'm in the middle because it's my wife. I'm coming back home. I just asked her to marry me again. And the person that's going to be in her life, she's helping her with her vocals, she's helping her with all the different things. She's going to be in my household. You're part of my life. All I'm saying is, can you apologize for last year? I'm in the middle, and your response is, no, bump that. She's a bird, da da da. Now, come on, Erica, jump on in.
Okay, so, well, a couple of things. One is I do not understand how he's calling this woman a bird again. And even though Bravo stood up for him, Bravo was like, well, that's better than what he could say. Meanwhile, people are storming out because they're called a stooge. Like, I do not understand
Come on
how
now.
people have such like
Come on now.
crazy disparities. There's like the treatment of the words, the disparate treatment between the two words seems insane to me. And two, okay, if you're not gonna apologize, because I forgot what I do remember they had a big argument. Maybe Chelsea was talking up too much, but I think Chelsea was defending Christina, if I remember.
She was, and
Anthony
he was coming crazy
to Christina too.
Yes.
So Anthony has a habit. I'm not gonna say a habit. We've seen him several times talk to me a little bit crazy to women. Like, let LaToya do it. You can just stand down on that. So to me, to come back and say whatever you think, whether you think she's a bird or you think she's not a bird or whatever, you got to admit, if you're Mr. I'm trying to help raise up the community, that the way that you behaved was a bad reflection on you and who you're proclaiming yourself to be, which is what Brandon was saying. So just apologize for being rude. You don't have to apologize, whatever. You still have your own thoughts, but you acted in a way that was just crazy. And it was on national TV. So just come back. So to me, I didn't feel like asking him for the apology was that hard of a thing. He's not saying you gotta be like, oh, you were right, I was wrong, or whatever. But to me, Anthony, if you look at the show, why wouldn't you want to apologize? Like, I don't even see how you could see yourself and be like, oh yeah, I was justified in acting a fool.
Really, this is what I'm saying. What you're saying is correct. That the thing of it is, for me, there are a lot of people who talk about these shows, and I know they do. I can even remember being the first blogger to interview the whole entire, cast, because I always like to do it when the season first comes on. But I got to get to know them, and I noticed that going towards the middle to the end, that because I will call everybody out, and I still will continue to do that on every show and every review, and will not change, period. Okay? For anybody who's confused by anything that I'm saying at all, I want to be done. Okay? A problem, anything you don't get, please DM me. But my thing is with that, people started having some issues, I can tell. And the way people move, I noticed on this cast, they do things like undercut, not necessarily loud in front of everybody. For instance, as you see how they're moving towards Christina, the men trying not to be involved, but you saw how quickly Anthony got so upset and saying that he was defending Chelsea. And then when he called him out and said, well, why would you had our wives there? He just does talking for Russell. Russell doesn't say anything to try to keep the peace. But to me, Russell should have stepped in this moment. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because when he said, you have my wife and you have Kobe there, why are you picking for Kobe? She has a husband. Okay. And saying that you had them there with da-da-da. First of all, Brandon's looking at it like this. I am going to give my wife a ring. I want people who are in her life to, give their response or commentary about what I'm going to buy for her. And for him to put that on Brandon was wrong. You just stood there. He was a man. Those are women who were having a conversation. Nobody was doing anything physical. Why would he step in? The way I grew up, a man does not step in a conversation unless it gets super dicey. Kobe left. And I'm going to say this, just like Brandon said, Kobe stepped in. She didn't have to. I don't care what they were saying. Kobe's name was not mentioned. She wasn't even looking in her direction. Kobe jumped in because she does not like Christina. I'm going to stand on that. Go ahead, Erica. I want to hear your thoughts, Mama.
I agree. But first and foremost, I feel like Russell didn't jump in because kind of the way like Anthony, how are you speaking on something and you weren't even there? So it's something that your wife told you. Now you coming back and retelling me about something.
No. What I mean by that is to say, hey,
No,
speak on
no,
your
I know what
situation,
you're
but not
saying. I
mine.
mean, I know what
Okay,
you're
I got you.
saying,
Okay, I
but I'm
got you.
just saying, like, off the rip, I'm not in it because, of course, Colby came back and told me something, but her perspective is going to be different from somebody else's perspective, and I
Right.
wasn't even there. So now I'm going to come and start a beef over, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't
Right, I
even make
got you.
sense. So that's what I was saying. Like, Russell was probably like, okay, look, of course Colby told him, but of course, you know what I mean? Like, you weren't really there. You can't really pass judgment on what Brandon was supposed to do, and you weren't there. Like, anyway. Secondly, Colby did, but I agree with you. You know, Colby, whether Colby jumped in it or whatever, she didn't really have to. And so I can see where Brandon was like, they weren't coming to blows, like they were having a discussion.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the same way, Chelsea jumped in for Christina with Anthony. It's like, Anthony, no, that's something you might do, is to jump into an argument between women, but that's not something the other men would really do, which I think
Right.
is the perspective. And it's like, Colby didn't like it. She got up and left. It wasn't.
Yeah.
And to me, I think saying someone is a stooge is not as devastating as calling a woman a bird. Here again. So in my opinion, so it's like, okay, but I think to me, that just all stems from Anthony being messy and kind of having that sort of real housewife energy about himself, instead of just being like, okay, we're here at the man's movement, we're trying to do things for the kids. And even still, like, what I did like about this episode was when Anthony met with his aunt and he's talking about his family
Yes.
and what
Yes,
they
I
did.
did.
I like
So
that a lot, although
I
I will
loved it.
say I still am confused outside of this man movement, like what Anthony actually does. But
So really quick, I want to okay, hold on, because I did enjoy seeing him with on Cheryl. I thought that was a really good scene.
yeah.
Talking about the things they had went through, but I wanted to kind of, because you made me think about it. So let me zoom in. So, a UK judge has ruled that calling women birds is plainly sexist, and even using the term jokingly is foolish in a landmark discrimination case. The ruling came following a tribunal brought by Barclays investment banker after her boss repeatedly called women birds. Anna Lectus said her boss, James Kinghorn, continued to refer to her as a bird despite requesting that he stop, and warning that the term was making her feel uncomfortable. That hearing of the East London Employment Tribunal's service was told. So even here, it's like still defending his use of the word is lighthearted, but in men over the years, now look, he had to pay money for this, because using that word does make women feel a way. Okay, that it's objective by women. It is sexist. It is to call women birds. Never really understood the reference, but I just wanted to say that, okay, before we continue, because y'all know I'm going to cover everything, because even with the noise that the birds make, yeah, think about it. People call them annoying. They fly. It's so much you can go into as far as why they do that. Okay, and a nickname. Birds are elegant creatures and they're beautiful, right? But when then you think about how men would look at women in a certain way, especially when they say that we're loud or we're annoying, da da da. Just a lot of different things. Especially when you look at the stuff about the positive about, okay, where they nesting and they're taking care of everybody and they're running it. But that's not how men mean it when they call us birds. Okay, go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry I went to a little rabbit hole there, but I kind of had to.
No worries. That was good. No, I mean, because remember back in the day, people used to call you a chicken head or whatever. Like, there are certain words people have used, and men specifically have used towards women, that we find really offensive. I think that Anthony sort of continuing that, refusing to, kind of see some of the errors in his behavior and still hold yourself, like, I'm not clear, is all he does is with this organization. Like, I don't know. Like, I still am kind of not clear on what he does for a living, but I like that they're doing stuff for the community or whatever. So that part is cool. But it's like if you're
Mm-hmm.
holding yourself out to be like that and you're still sitting in the same gym with the children calling people birds, like
This is what I'm saying.
what's going on right now?
If for that moment, to me, I apologize. I would have said, I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to have a conversation with her and we'll see what happens. To me, that would have been more of an appropriate response than what he did.
I agree.
What he did was ridiculous. And in that setting, it just didn't make any sense. I'm a kind of person that says how she feels and everything, but I just could not see myself in that moment. If I'm doing a movement or something, and someone's saying, "Hey, can you apologize?" Now, like I said, I might not necessarily say at that moment, "Yes, I'm going to apologize right now." I might say, "Hey, we and that person are going to have a conversation, and we're going to see if we could both," whatever my statement might be. But it wouldn't have been what I saw, and I just didn't understand that. It kind of put a bad taste or ruined. I feel like that whole positive situation, the way it was ended. I'm not sure if you agree or not with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree because it's like you saw the scene with his aunt. You got the impression that there are these people trying to do so much in the community. And to me, even outside of Brandon asking him that, after now that the season is over, it's a year
Mhm.
later. When you look at how you acted in the prior season, I would hope that you would be like, okay, that's not the person I am, and that's not the person I would want the public to see and apologize. Period. Like
Mhm.
whether you really think whatever you really think is your opinion, but you do not have to act a fool with a woman like on national TV and at a dinner and in front of all these people. Like it just was uncalled for. And for him to like not only not see it after watching the episode, later on in reflection, but to also double down and continue to act a fool. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Agree. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't understand, and this is just my opinion. I um don't understand that situation because to me it was, in my opinion, a positive moment, regardless what anybody says, and I enjoyed the moments, and I want to make sure that we visit those moments, like you spoke about him and his auntie, because myself, I can say that in my family, losing people and going through all of that, I get it. It's man, it's just rough. And when he said it, I was like, man, it's a lot. So what I'm trying to say is that that moment was nice, but I just feel like a lot of that was a bit messed up because of how he reacted. I just wish he would have just apologized, because to me it's like, bro, it's not that much of a big deal. He could even said, we're gonna have to talk first before we even do anything. Something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
So okay, so from there, what we got? We got Marcel. To me, I'm gonna say with the men. To me was a, I guess y'all call it sassy or whatever, but I feel like that Marcel was being a bit shady, and I'm gonna tell you why. When he said, "Hey, I was trying to reach out to see if Brandon's here, whatever, whatever," he didn't answer. Okay, but I'm here. This all is important, so I'm not gonna worry about Marcel. Nobody asked. I don't remember. I don't remember anyone asking Marcel his opinion about it. Did you catch that? I'm gonna catch everything.
I thought I think when they all were kind of standing off talking, I think that whole scene was basically them sort of trying to throw subtle shots at each other. So Brandon shows up late. We don't even know, he doesn't show up and say, "I'm sorry, I'm late." He just shows up like, "Whoa, I'm here." Then I think Marcel or whatever, he's like, "Well, where's Brandon?" And meanwhile, I don't think Bravo never mentioned it. He mentioned it off camera, but he should have mentioned it right then and there. Like, well, at least Brandon got an invite, which is more than Bravo got.
Right.
I'm
I
like,
was saying the same thing.
so then I felt like Marcel or whatever was making the point, like, well, the important people are the heavy hitters are
Right.
here, and we spoke basically, like, and the other people, like, I guess the implication is they weren't worthy, or they not important, or they ain't needed, or whatever. And
Mhm.
so, which like, so I'm not
Right.
sure. So I did catch the little slight digs, and then when Brandon gets there, he's like, "Oh, well, you all pulled it together better than last year," or whatever he says. He makes his little
Mhm.
comments,
Yes.
and Anthony makes his little digs, like, "Okay, well, maybe to you she's somebody, but to us, so it
Right.
seemed the entire conversation there are a lot of, shots fired, and
It
it
was.
doesn't seem to um and I guess maybe this is what happens when you take, I don't know if the break has been too long or whatever, because I'm kinda like
Not the
"Why
break
are
was
we
too
this?"
long.
I'm like, "Why are we this stank? Like, did something happen that wasn't aired?" Because I'm like,
Oh my God, I
"Didn't we
can't.
resolve this in the reunion, like, a year ago? Like, what is
Girl,
this
for
fighting
real,
about?
for
Like, we here trying to uplift
real.
the community. Can we just be positive?" So,
Look,
maybe more will reveal itself throughout the season, but it did seem a little bit like too many little shots where I'm just like, "Okay,
mhm.
wait." Like, I don't know, Carlos, maybe you gotta air it a little bit tighter, because I was just like, "Wait, why is," I remember Brandon and Anthony had this thing, like, I'm like, "Wait, why are
Right.
they still mad?" Like, like,
Exactly. Exactly. Real talk.
I did get the vibe, and then the new people coming in hot, like, "We don't
Girl,
even know
for
you guys.
real.
We don't even know you. What are you mad about?" Like, I'm so confused.
You were just born yesterday.
I'm like, "We don't even know who you are. How are you
Oh my
angry?" Like,
God. That
that
is
didn't even get it.
hilarious. That is hilarious.
So, yeah.
And so, so true. So looking at honestly, looking at the scenes from the next week, it looks like it's gonna be a little more spice. I kind of feel like, did you see that from the scene? A little more, I don't know. Girl, like I was saying, like really some dramatic gonna happen.
You do that every week, and every week we're disappointed. So don't even let's wait till we get to the end of
That's
the
why I
year.
was that's why I was laughing. That's why I was laughing while I was playing. Did you not hear it?
I know. I was like, "Girl, they gonna let you down again. You know it."
To me, Love and Marriage Detroit is just like, okay, so I'm hoping that nobody be offended. If it was me, hey, just saying. So you have Love Marriage DC, who, because Love Marriage Huntsville's mama, just being honest, they, first of all on a rocket. Then you got Love Marriage DC, who came through, and that's second. Then you have Detroit. I think Detroit still are on sea legs. You know what I'm saying? Because Huntsville come back November the 2nd, and I already know we're gonna be talking about that. There's gonna be a lot going on. But I'm just saying, that's my opinion about 3 shows. So what do you think?
No, I agree. I think what's messing up Carlos, or the issue that he's really having, is the timing of the schedules or whatever. So I'm not sure what's going on with production and whatever, but it's like with DC and Detroit, I don't know, maybe it was just too long of a gap or whatever. So like, Love and Marriage Huntsville, we didn't really have a finale. I'm not really sure how they're airing these shows, to be honest, but we need a little bit more continuity, because I'm like, okay, I'm legitimately like, I'm not interested enough to go back and watch, but I'm like, why are they this angry? And then you bring in the new people, but they have so much like underlying animosity or some long history with the folks, but we don't never know who they were. So I think there's a little bit um to keep us engaged.
Right,
We
right.
need to have a little bit more continuity, because I thought DC was really hot, and then it took like a year off, and maybe they all fell out during
Years,
that
I think.
year, and then
Yeah, it
they
was something
came
crazy.
back, and it was
Mhm.
like, but before that, I felt like, okay, this is really hot. And I think because Love and Marriage Huntsville has had such a steady audience, it's consistent. We know everybody's history, you know. It's not like we just met them and we haven't seen them for a year. Like, we know the people, and we know what we're kind of getting. And I think with Love and Marriage Detroit, it has a more, even though it's Detroit, it gives me like a more down home feel, kind of. They're a little bit homier, and
Yeah, no, I agree. 100%.
and they're all, everybody's really in the church and all that stuff, which I didn't really know. That's not really first what I thought of with Detroit. So that part is sort of
Detroit. Just to jump in there. Detroit is known for that. So to
Right.
me, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to be like, it's a church, show background, because he knew it was gonna be messy. He was smart, so he didn't base it with that, which I agree. But most Detroit, there was a whole at one point in time, a whole like I don't know who was doing Lifetime or somebody, but they were showing the preachers of Detroit. It was actually a show called that because they're known for being super religious. Yeah, they're super religious down there. So that baseline of the show to me is super smart. I do love that aspect of the show that honestly they're gonna look at things differently, being a part of a religion, a black people who are in executives and into being a religious background. I really think it's a good concept and a good, whole thing. But go ahead and see. I just want to say that real quick. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was not aware of that, I don't think, but I do remember that show that you're referring to. So yeah, so I liked that part of it. So it gives you a more sort of like, like I don't know, when I think of Detroit, I think of that mayor that went to prison. So it does give you a more wholesome view of Detroit and family orientated and stuff, which might not be what Detroit is known for necessarily or whatever. So, or not to everyone. I'll put it that way. So I like that part of it, but we need some more kind of continuity. This definitely felt a little bit like a filler episode. And I like all the couples, I think that all the couples look good and, you know, everyone's sort of doing their thing. So that part is nice. But yeah, we need more continuity with filming just so that the storylines seem to be organic. Like everybody has production, but it has to kind of also make sense with the real with what's really going on.
Right.
So,
I agree.
but I like this show actually.
Well, and I also want to bring up the scene also as well. I almost forgot about it. The scene with when Colby was talking about the gender situation and the family being there. I like that scene because I know she's got a little bit of a negative response as far as feeling that way. But again, being pregnant and having a baby, you go through so much. You're creating another human being. You're a part of that. It's a lot. And people who are pregnant are not allowed to express themselves. For years, it was like that. You're not allowed to say, I don't want to do this, whatever's going on. I'm just being honest. And those conversations were had in the dark or quietly or not at all. And mentally, people went through it because they weren't allowed to express themselves. To me, I get it. People saying the child will be able to see this in the future online. I get that because that is traumatic as well. How you're moving online, being pregnant, that child in 4 to 5 years, that baby, because these kids, they're on the iPad. And let's be clear, I'm saying 12, 11 years old, they're a pro at TikTok and all kind of crap. So yes, the child will probably see this now, and I get that side of it, but I'm just saying a mother going through that should be able to express themselves. That's all I want to say. Did you have any thoughts about that, Erica?
I liked the scene. What I did like about that scene was how real and authentic and sort of raw the aunt was. And, as someone who's older, who doesn't have any children, I definitely related to, the story that she put out there and her perspective. So I thought that that was really, um, a really touching scene. And I think one of the things that was interesting is that kind of going to what you're saying is that Colby also, even in that scene, kept saying, I don't want to be seen as the person who's not grateful. I don't want to be seen as the person who, so she does seem to be very concerned about how voicing her opinion will be judged by other people. And that part is tough because I think the aunt was trying to get to something that's a little bit deeper in, kind of looking at the situation differently because of God and because of whatever, as opposed to, how you're going to look to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think her aunt wasn't telling her that because she was saying, oh, you look a certain way or people think of you a certain way. But no, this is, kind of should look a little bit deeper than that.
Right.
So, but I agree that no matter how you want to be seen, you feel how you feel. You know what I'm saying? And so, and it's appreciative. And I think it's good that she's actually speaking it, even though people have their opinions or whatever. But also, I think the aunt was trying to get her to a place where, regardless of what we all think out here on these internet streets, you got to give birth and come from a place, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
obviously she's going to love her
Yes.
child.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, but it's like, okay, but she has to get to a place herself where she can embrace it or move past whatever rocks she's having. So I think that's what the aunt was speaking to more so than what you're putting out there that you think people are judging you for. You should be free to say it, of course, and people may judge it, but there has to come a point where it's like, okay, how am I going to change how I really feel about it? You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who thinks what, you know what I'm saying? You got to come into a place where you're happy and embracing this, hopefully. So
I just saw this comment. Anthony should not mention you if he can't apologize. Oh, wow.
That's the truth, Ruth.
Me. So, okay, Mom, we're about to shut this down. This was a good live, good discussion about the episode. We broke it down. It's been a while since we really broke down the scenes and stuff like that. It's been a minute, so I enjoyed it.
Especially because I was like, oh, this live was better than the episode because I was
it
like,
really was.
It was dry.
This episode, but this live was good because the thing about it, look, I'll say this: even if it's a filler episode, I would say being able to have these conversations or the episode provoking the conversations is still a positive thing. You can look at it that way, even though we could say this was a filler episode. So
I agree, and I think there were people who really like the aunt, like actually the aunties ruled it. So
yeah, they did.
Anthony's auntie and Colby's auntie really showed to me like real people in Detroit. They didn't have no script from production. They didn't have no, well, make sure you ask them this to do this. Like they just were real about kind of who they were and what they were going through. And that was really touching. And that was, to me, those were the best parts of the episode. Honestly, some of the other stuff kind of moved it along, but both of them were like, this is when plus ones go good. Okay, I'll just say that.
So when y'all see me do this usually means plus one. Y'all see this? Okay, we have reserved one seat in your honor. This is a plus one invitation. Anyway, so Erica, what you got coming up on your channel, Mama? Tell the people what they got coming up in spooky season that we are in of Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween. So I'm getting caught up on some things, but I will be reviewing Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Potomac and Love After Lockup. So right now, that's what I have going on. So I'll be dropping some things later this evening. Yes, I love the aunties this episode. Shout out. I want me a Detroit auntie. They were really great this episode.
They were. So for me, y'all know that Big Brother's finale on CBS Paramount Plus. It's tonight. I will be interviewing the winner, runner-up, and the one that goes into jury tomorrow. Hopefully we'll drop all the interviews tomorrow as well. And I'm still working on a project that I just cannot say, behind the scenes, but we're still pushing and doing the thing we do over here, the Queen of Reality TV. Lee hopped off, but y'all follow Lee on TikTok. She's cooking, she's doing all kind of things, going live, her trips, all kind of stuff on her TikTok. So make sure y'all go follow her over there, please. And make sure y'all follow Miss over here, Erica. She's back on YouTube. The Love at the Lock of Queen, I would say, is really been doing her thing. So please make sure y'all follow her. Island Queen too. She's like my island girl. She is.
Thank you.
All right. So with that being said, y'all, we out of here. I love y'all down. We'll see y'all next time. Make sure y'all follow, like, comment, and subscribe and all the things. And happy Halloween. One thing I want you guys to know, and that nothing that will never change about this, I am the queen of reality TV. Don't get it twisted and don't doubt it. It is what it is. Period.